Okay, Coach. Well, with the Ohio River and the hills of Kentucky just to our right, we welcome you into Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Oh, here it is. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go now. 90 Wolf. Go. Check. Shoot. Go.
First carry for Royce Freeman. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Hey, you don't want to see it. What? Squeeze. Kill. Now.
Throwing, Jones. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Let it.
52's the mic. Check. 52's the mic. Bandit. He's crashing.
Get it.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Hard. Get wide. Check. Hey, lock it. Kill.
After the penalty, here's Freeman.
Go.
Room to run past midfield. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Royce Freeman, his 4th touchdown on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now a give right side. It's Harrison. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a 1st. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet.
But nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that. Give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Finding some room at midfield. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. And this score will stay right where it is. Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. They'll run on first down. Freeman. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I don't know about you, partner, but on second and inches, a lot of the times I'm leery about the offensive guys thinking about taking a shot downtown. Instead, they just hand it to the big man and let him rumble forward for a first down.
So first and 10 now from the 30.
Leo! Check.
Now it's Freeman. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
50, plant. I got it. Look at me. Door. Big trip.
On second down, Freeman. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to 1 yard and brings up third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down.
Recon, 152 fighter. Hey, Delta.
Mike 5'9".
Fire.
Operating from the gun, Jones. The pass complete to Hakeem Butler. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And his kick is good. And that will make it 10-0 here in the first. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit a partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
So that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
There you go. Check.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Watch safety green. Watch safety green. Safety.
On 2nd down now. It's Harrison, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Ten 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Watch tight, tight is right. Watch tight, tight is right.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you give 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Ready.
It's a give to Freeman running right. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big run there by Freeman. 49 yards on the ground.
1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
Check 3, check 3, check 3. Check 26, check 26.
Watch twins. Watch twins.
Protein spill.
And with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Here we go. Set. 60 out.
Mike's 59. Mike's 59.
Watch this. Roll out.
Slam, slam.
Slam, slam. Stand. Check 25. Clear. 25. Now. On me. Let's go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
Second down and goal. Jones. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Geronimo Allison. His first touchdown on the year. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. He took the hit when he threw that ball. Maybe the O-line just thankful that that worked out for a touchdown.
Yeah, because, you know, their pride is don't let that guy get hit, no matter what, under any circumstances. But anytime it pays off in a touchdown, they'll figure out how to block a little bit better going forward.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Check 9, check 9. Go. 50 seconds to Mike. 50 seconds.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you can see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
On second down, it's Harrison, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
That's 2 really good stops in a row, back-to-back tackles for losses. I mean, let's face it, they are locked in to what they're doing offensively, and now they've earned the right to rush the passer on third down, haven't they?
Yeah, and offensively they're going to have to do something else because the run game, at least on this drive, isn't working. Here's Jackson on third and long. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
I know you feel that.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now the second down throw on target, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third.
I'm here all day.
Like 5. Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback. Let's go.
From the gun, Jones. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
The Bengals bring out their punter now. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens will take over at their own 20-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. And again this time to the tailback. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Get him, boys! Get him, boys!
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jackson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got a man complete. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. He'll take a shot for the end zone. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
Hard, hard. Undercrush, undercrush, undercrush.
Now a carry here for their fullback. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Ready to break. Hey, lock it.
Hey, switch gears.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down.
Check 31.
This is Freeman. And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the first down. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Carl Lawson, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll be taken down at the 18. It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a third down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
This time Jackson will throw it. He's going deep for Brown. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 61 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 17-yard line.
Ready? This is the plan. I got him.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big first down, and sets up 1st and goal.
And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Ravens get a bit closer. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this third quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little.
At the 24-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
I'm scared.
Hey. Hey, Charlie.
Now Jones. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Let's get it.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
You can't block me.
Smooth.
Mike 5. On the ball. Fires the mic. Let's go.
Ready.
Jones now. From the gun, he'll throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Now he'll pull it down. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Quick dance. Come. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. 22, jet, cover. 22, jet, cover. Ship. Alert flash. Go.
And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. Now he'll escape to his right. He can run for it, and he will. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. Buying time to his left. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 25-yard line. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On first down, Harrison. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the fourth. Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
Check four. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Say. Alert three. Check.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harrison. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal. Now, yes, a two-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a two-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal.
Check 13.
They'll try to run this one in. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, two-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Man, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
Third and goal, Jackson. This is intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 20, 10, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Carl Lawson make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. He's going to air one out. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Jackson now. A perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. Off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Push him back.
Jackson now. Going to throw again. He sets to fire deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Here's Jackson to throw on 3rd down. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Jackson now. Now he's flushed out right. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Check. Rock it. Go.
Motion.
Get it.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tony Pollard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this practice?
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charlie. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Get that ball. Get some penetration here. Get some penetration. Check. Check hot route. Hot. Echo. 42.
To throw is Jackson. Throwing on 4th down. Escaping the pressure right. He'll have a 1st down past the 40 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble. To throw is Jackson. Flush to his right. And he's going to keep it here. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Jackson, he's going to let it fly. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Jackson to throw again. Forced out to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Jackson from the shotgun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. Now it's Jackson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Here's Jackson to throw. Dancing to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12.
Let's get off the field.
Now it's Jackson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Now Jackson throwing on 3rd and long. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Going for it has paid off twice already on this drive. Can they convert again on 4th down? Let's see. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati.